Hi guys, and here we are now starting part 5 of our Wall-E tutorial. So we're basically finished with the body here. In the previous 4 tutorials we've been working on the Wall-E body from our reference images. We've been creating this shape here. Now we're going to start on the neck area. So that's what we're going to work on in this part of the tutorial. We're going to build up this neck area before we move on to the head. So looking at our reference images here, you can see that the neck is a couple of cylinders, and they're mounted on this hinged area here coming out of the body. So we're going to start off by constructing these hinges, and then we will start on the cylinders. So we'll go over into Blender and make sure we're in object mode, and we're going to go to create, and we'll create a new cube, and we'll scale this down to approximately the size that we desire. So let's take a look at our reference image. About how wide is this? So we're probably looking at about 1/4 of the width of our opening. So scale it a little bit more, about this size. Looks about right to me. Okay, now we're going to scale in the x-axis to make it a little narrower. Again, we'll check back with our reference image about how wide this is, so we can maintain the correct proportions. Okay, and for our height, we're going to scale in the z-axis. We want this to fit inside of our opening, like so. Okay, so now we've done this. Check back with our reference image. The shape is slightly curved up there. So let's create that. I'm going to hide for the moment our cube. Now instantly over here, let's keep things named nicely. So I'm going to change this to the body, and this cube here is going to be the beginning of the neck. Alright, so the body I'm going to just temporarily hide. So we're just going to work on this, and we'll go into edit mode. And what I want to do first of all is introduce a loop cut, which will go all the way around. Let's go back to a reference image here. So the loop cut is going to be around there, and then we're going to move in the top area. So we'll drag this down a little bit. Okay, now once we've done that, we'll go to our edge mode. We'll select this edge and drag it in, and this edge also, and drag it in. Now we have that. We're going to go to our face select, and we're going to bevel this face. We'll increase, edge mode, sorry, and we're going to bevel this edge and the other top edge as well. This edge here. Control B to bevel. Increase the number of segments. Okay, so that gives us our shape there. Now we'll reveal the body again. I'm going to come out of edit mode and back into object mode. I'm going to move this down slightly. Okay, now we want to put this rivet area here, which is supposedly the rivet which is holding the neck in place, which is going to hinge from. So that's going to be created by, again, in object mode here, we'll go to create a cylinder, I'm going to scale this cylinder down. We'll drag it into the approximate position. We're going to rotate it along the y-axis, 90 degrees. We're going to scale it along our x-axis. And then position it on our neck piece there. Okay? So now we're done with that. If we take a look again at our Wally reference image, you'll see this is like a donut shape. It's kind of recessed in the center there. It's got a hole in it. So what I'm going to do first of all is over in edit mode, I'm going to select the edge loops. So select edge loops. Okay, now we've got that. I'm going to choose to extrude and scale. Now we're going to extrude inwards. Scale. And extrude in again. Okay, now we've got that. We'll come back out of edit mode into object mode. Position this as we want it. Check back with our reference image. Make sure we get the scaling about right. Position. I'm going to scale this up a little bit. Now we've done that, we'll select the two objects and we're going to go to Object and Join to make that one object and one mesh. So if we go into edit mode, you'll see now it's all one piece. So we're going to need two of these because we have one on either side of the neck area. So we're just going to copy and paste it. So Command C if you're on a Mac, or Control C and then V. Drag that over to the other side. Now I want to rotate this around the Z-axis 180 degrees. And make sure that it's positioned correctly. So I want to drag it in just a little bit more. Okay. So that is our hinge area for the neck. So the next piece that we're going to create will be this cylinder here, and again in object mode we're going to just go to create a cylinder, drag this up, scale it a little bit. So I want to scale this so it fits between our two hinged areas there. Scale it up a little bit. I'm going to go to my front view so that we don't have any perspective distortion. Okay. Now we're done with scaling in that direction. I'm going to scale in the Z-axis and make this a little bit longer. And I'm going to go to my right view so we can position it also horizontally, like so. Okay, so now we are done with that. We need to work on the shape on the end. So you can see it's slightly chamfered in, and again it's recessed for this other piece to slot into, and you'll see here that there is a slot coming out which would fit into the slot which is on the bottom of here. So we're going to create that area next, which is going to be done in a very similar way to what we did before. Back over into edit mode. We're going to select these edges. So select edge loops, extrude and scale. Just check again back on my reference image. Okay, hold on. Just go back a moment. Just select edge loops. It's going to be extrude up a little bit and scale inwards. We're going to extrude up again. This far. Extrude again and scale. Like so. That's looking about right. Okay, and then finally extrude, but don't take it anywhere. Scale, extrude and scale. Whoops, sorry. This one should move inwards. There, like so. Now we've got this. We want the slice which comes out from there. So the way we're going to create that is come into vertex mode, and we're going to grab our knife tool, and we want to cut between those two vertexes and these two. It creates a new face which we can select and extrude upwards. Now we're going to extrude again. This time scale it a little bit. Extrude again, and then our two ends here, so we go to edge select, Control B, and we'll bevel those again a little bit inwards like so. Okay, so there is our neck piece. We'll come back out into object mode, and we can rotate this along the x-axis, maybe a little bit more. Then we'll go to our right view, so we have no distortion, and we can place this like so. Okay, so there is our beginnings of our neck for Wally there. Now one thing I'm also going to do with this is slightly curve this back edge here. So we're going to go to select edge loops, Control B again for the bevel, and we just want to bevel it just a little bit so it's slightly rounded. Just take some of the harshness off of that back edge there. Okay, so now we're done with that. I'm going to do one final part of this tutorial, which will be the horizontal part here. So that's going to be created in basically the same way. Here in object mode, we'll go to create a cylinder, drag this cylinder up, we'll scale it, going to rotate it on the y-axis, 90 degrees. And then from our top view, we'll position this and then from our right view, we can also position here. Now we don't want it to overlap into there, so we may need to do some adjustment to the part that we just created a moment ago so it fits properly into here. So let's check our reference image again. Okay. So you can see a little bit of that arm sticking out. So we'll go to our left view. Alright, so that's about the right position there. So now what I'm going to do is come over here into edit mode. We're going to grab this face. And we're going to move this out. More like this. Okay. Back into object mode, and we're going to scale on the x-axis. Check out about how wide this is. Okay, so it doesn't stick out much further than the edge of our first cylinder. So I just want to get the proportions of this correct. Okay. That looks about right. And then we're going to add in the details, which are on the end of here. So we have these 3 rivets that are on the end there. So we'll add those in. And also, over in edit mode here, I'm going to chamfer this edge slightly. So select our edge loops, Control B for bevel. Drag out how much, just a little bit. There we go. Back into object mode, create a new cylinder. It's going to be really scaled down because these are going to make the rivets. Rotate 90 degrees on the y-axis. And there's 3 of these rivets if we look at our reference image. Here, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go to my left view. Scale this again. Position it where we desire. Scale on the x-axis. Go over into edit mode. Again, we're going to select this edge loops. Control B to bevel this a little bit. Then we're going to grab the face. Extrude it in slightly and scale a little bit. Extrude again, scale again, and extrude outwards, and Control B to bevel this. Okay, so there is our rivet. Then we're going to create 3 of these. So let's go to our left view, position this precisely, and then we'll go Command C, Command V, move this down and to the side. Command C and Command V again, and we'll drag this one over here. So there's our 3 rivets. We'll select all of these and our main object and go to join, and that makes it all one piece. And then this whole object, Control C, Control V, and to drag it over there, rotate on the y-axis 180 degrees, move it in a little bit, and there we have now our neck piece. So I think that's enough for this tutorial. In the next part we're going to be continuing with the neck, with this upper area there, and then we'll start building this shape which will be used for the 2 eye sockets of the head of Wall-E. Before we go on to the rear area and begin working on some of the more complex details that we see around the back there. So that's it for now. I hope that you have found this tutorial useful. If you want to continue following along, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can be kept up to date with all of the new videos that we do as part of this tutorial series. Don't forget to hit like and share this with your friends who are also into Blender modeling. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.